Yesterday, Bungie dropped a massive update to the game, almost completely changing the portal as we know it. So in today's video, I just wanted to give you guys a quick guide to help you figure out the new portal if you haven't jumped in, and just to kind of explain how it works post-change. So the major point we obviously need to start in is the activities. So right here, I have a caldera loaded up, and see, Seagrade, I haven't put anything on it yet. But this is where the biggest change has come. And if you look in the top right here, you can see just that. Now there are activity power caps on everything. So you can see if I skip through here, 280, 185, 90, and then normal, you're at power. I also believe ultimate, I don't have access to it, but as you can see there, activity power cap is 470. So that effectively means that no matter what you do in ultimate, you will be 30 lower. No matter what you do in Grandmaster, you'll be 25 lower, and so on. So this is a really big update because for a while now, it hasn't really been that, useful to actually go for A grades, because a lot of the time an A grade compared to like a B grade, which normally is only a +1 power drop compared to what a B grade would be, is like 50 power harder. It's not even about the extra modifiers you put on. It's just about how much of a power delta has been put on you. But now that has been all but removed, because as you can see here, when I'm choosing my modifiers, if I go in, click on my Banes here, and I put these on, now this has been replaced with a little +5 to show my challenge multiplier on the side, and no power. So you can see if I throw on a Raging Caltrops here, my power cap will not get any worse. This used to basically go down another 20, and then all these other ones would do, like Solar Threat would be another -10, this would be -20, this would be -10, -10, and so on. So if I wanted to put in all the hardest modifiers here to get the absolute highest score possible, not that you would obviously ever do all this, I would effectively be like, a good 70, 80 under light, and it would never even make any, it would just make the activity impossible, Now I can throw all this on, and it won't really get any harder. Obviously, all these are negative modifiers, so they definitely make it more of a challenge, but nothing crazy, nothing like it's going to insta-kill me, or I'm going to walk into a room and boom, I'm dead. Or I'm going to have to plink away at the boss for an extra 5 minutes because I threw on all these modifiers, which really shouldn't even affect that. So it means that you should always be going for A grades now. No matter what level of player you are, A grades should be your goal, because an A grade really isn't any harder compared to, a basic grade, a C grade, or so on. What this also means is on the side here, like I said, if you take off everything here and just go with, the lowest grade, the C grade here, you still have that activity power cap. All that happens is you just don't have any of the extra modifiers, which is why, like I was saying, you should really be going for A grades no matter what, because to be honest with you, if you go through here and we just throw on some of these, like Chill Touch, whatever, especially one like Counterfeit, this doesn't do anything, Subtle Foes, whatever, Hot Knife, Shanks, Knob, Slow Shields, who cares, Fallen Males drop web mines. Pretty much nothing difficult is looped in there, and I've already increased my score forecast by a massive margin. The activity really didn't even get more difficult when I put all those on, and I'm just getting better rewards. So it is very nice because it essentially has actually made getting lower scores harder. So if you were a low score farmer, sorry to say, but it has actually become harder to get that. But in return, it has made getting A grades much easier than it was before. So really, no matter what stage of the game you're at, I want you to be aiming to get those A grades, because it's just so much more worth the time than those lower grades, and it's so much easier than it was before. That is the biggest change, but there is one extra loot change that will specifically help loot a lot. Pretty easy to understand what's coming up here, but will help you understand that a lot. I also real quickly wanted to throw this little graphic in here for you guys. These were the updated power grade changes that were made during this week's update. So reference this if you want to know what grades to shoot for. As you can see, when you're at the lower tiers, like at Expert, a B plus and a B are actually the same, so don't even worry about that. But that A will be an extra power drop, or more importantly, especially at the higher tiers, A pluses do not actually help you at all with your power grind, so don't worry about shooting for those A pluses. Instead, you should just be focused on getting A's unless you're looking for that extra tier of gear. Just wanted to throw that in as a little helpful thing. Yeah, let's move into the next segment. The other major change they have made in this update was to these bonus drops here. Now, if you've been playing for a while, or, just been grinding a little bit, you probably know that bonus drops, once you hit 200 power, were completely useless. Prior to 200 power, would give you nice, powerful drops. It'd be all good, it'd be all cool. But once you hit 200, which is obviously something you accomplish pretty dang fast, they became all but useless. The reason for this is because they would just drop so far under light. Your completion reward here, like for example, let's say I want to do a quick little battleground core here. My completion reward, if I went for an A grade here, would be, let's see here. It would be a 418 T4 drop. The bonus drops would still drop as a T4, but they would drop 3 under, effectively putting them at 415, which is also my current power. So pretty much completely useless unless you're trying to get more rewards. But even then, when it came to getting more rewards, they still didn't do much because they didn't go along with these focuses. Let's say I wanted to get one of these Q Annihiluses, and I want to use my bonus drops here. The bonus drop isn't going to drop as one of those. It's not actually going to help with a focus. So 99% of the time, the bonus drop would just be a below power, useless gun that I don't even want, even though it is a T4 or a T5 or whatever. Now, in this new update, they have actually flipped that on its head. And now when you see bonus drop, you should be looking at it just as another completion reward. That's right, you guys. Now when you're doing this stuff, the bonus drops will actually also drop as powerful drops or drop at the same level as your completion rewards. So now if I were to go in here, blah, 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 put on my modifiers, and get that A grade, throw on this, throw on that, yep. And I get that A grade. Now 418 does not just apply to my specific completion rewards like it did before, it also applies to my bonus drops here. This is especially big, of course, if you're doing an activity like if I went to Battleground Behemoth here, because now this doesn't really just mean 2 completion rewards and 3 bonus drops. It basically means 5 completion rewards, as they will all drop at the same power. Now, how should this really affect your gameplay? Well, it really means that rather than just doing what you were doing before and running, oh, let me run Reclaim over and over and over 20 times in a row, or oh, let me run Caldera over and over and over and over. Now the new, more effective strategy here is to go and pick and choose your activities by what has the most bonus drops. Of course, with some activities, this won't mean a huge deal, like for example in these pinnacles. If Override Avalon here, an activity that takes a really long time, has 3 bonus drops, it might still not exactly be worth it just because it takes so damn long anyways. You know how it is. But especially with a lot of these shorter activities, like Battleground Behemoth here, definitely want to hop in and do that and get my bonus drops. With Battleground Delve, hop in, do that, get my bonus drops. Devil's Lair, do that. Glassway, do that. It means that you want to actually go around and be choosing activities more so by the amount of bonus drops they have rather than the speed I can get them done like you probably were before. Because now those bonus drops are a massive, massive help to your power grind. Now, unfortunately, there is one more major change that came to activities here, and this one is kind of a negative one, at least if you're more of a solo player who uses a lot of the matchmaking that is given to you in-game. And that comes with a new updated modifier here in the match-made version of these. That is the fact that they have now added no time limit, and with it, no time bonus to all match-made activities. Now, at first, you're probably like, oh, great, that just means now it's even less stress than it was before. But unfortunately, this comes with a major, major, major negative. That means that on activities like Reclaim here, especially Reclaim, some of the strikes you can still mess with it a little bit, but on Reclaim specifically here, one of the best activities to farm in the game, it means that you will always get your reward score forecast no matter what you do. You could kill every single enemy, complete it in 5 minutes, and do every single objective, and you will still only get a B grade, which effectively means all your drops will be 2 power lower than they would have been in an A grade. This comes at a time where prior, I know personally, I would constantly farm Reclaim, and every single Reclaim run that I did with matchmaking, I would get A's with absolutely no problem, absolutely no struggle. And unfortunately now that's just not a valid strategy, which means that either activities like Reclaim aren't necessarily unplayable, but just aren't worth it. Or it means that now you got to go in here and use Fireteam Finder so that when you go to launch these activities, you can throw it on Customize just like you normally would, and you can actually choose your modifiers to guarantee you get that A grade. In the end, It's kind of nice because now, like I said, no stress, but honestly, it didn't really add much stress before. And I think for a lot of solo players, this is really, really, really bad. So we will see. Maybe Bungie will update this when people start to figure it out and people start to complain about that. Maybe they won't, and we'll just have to deal with it. Nothing we can do about it now, guys, but just work around it. You know how it is. That's really it for this video. That should be a pretty good guide to hopefully help you guys in getting in there and figuring out and doing these new portal activities and really making your time spent in these activities worth it. I did want to add into the end here, as you've probably seen a bunch of other creators talking about, this new tech sec supply drop, which of course gives you the big thing with these unstable cores here, so infusion is no longer a problem. And all this gear here, which all this gear is meant to help below 300 players instantly boost up to 300. Very, very nice. But it's also very useful if you are already above 300, as you can see here, it gives powerful drops. Not just powerful drops, but really, really powerful drops. As you saw, when I got an A grade in activities, it would drop at 418. This drops at 419, 1 power higher than my A grade activities. So definitely make sure to pick these up. Make sure to pick them up in the order of what you need the most. So for example, if I need a primary the most, pick up a primary, go check my inventory and see what I need next and pick them up in that order, because as your power boosts, these will also get more powerful. It's not like they're all locked to 419. If I were to take one of these 419s, it boosts me up to 416. Boom, they're dropping at 420. So make sure you do it like that, and that will really help you to take the most advantage of that. That's all for this video though, guys. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe. Would be much, much appreciated. I'm also very soon going to be having a full returning player's guide to the Edge of Fate, as obviously a lot of updates were made in this expansion. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one.